Hi, I'm Christopher, and this is Grow For Me Gardening. Today, I'm going to be starting some seeds for early spring flowers. So welcome back to the basement greenhouse. We did just get back from vacation. You'll notice Eric is not with me. He brought home a very unwanted souvenir, so he is upstairs not feeling so well, but I'm sure in a few days he'll be back on his feet to help me with some of the very, very early preparations for the garden. Today, though, I am going to get started with two kinds of pansy and one kind of viola. I've done a little bit of research. I know that all pansies are violas, but not all violas are pansies. That is about as much differentiation as I've got, other than violas have much smaller flowers, more abundant flowers, and the pansies are the bigger, beautiful flowers that we love so much that come in the really beautiful celestial blue, the Berna velvet blue, and then the viola that we're going to do is Antique Leda, which is a absolutely beautiful color. It's got a lot of these almost like watercolor dipped looking plum colors and creams and a little bit of yellow. So those three are going to be going in the large containers that are at the front of our garage, where we currently have a North Pole arborvitae, all of our greens, and the cardinal red dogwood. So the plan is we'll take those greens out, and as soon as we're able to put these beautiful little plants in spring, we'll have our gorgeous display in the cool months. So not only did these seeds show up while we were away, but also some seed starting soil showed up from Gardener's Supply. You know how much we love Gardener's Supply stuff outside, but we also really do love the quality of the tools and soils and products that we've gotten from them over the years. So today I'm going to be using the GrowEase seed starting kit. I have some on hand that I'm going to be reusing, which is one of the reasons I love it. You can reuse them for as long as they'll last for you, and two brand new ones. I'll be using the Gardener's Supply seed starting soil, and we're going to be putting it to start on right next to me, the Aggie 2-tier light system. It's really cool. It's portable. It's going to be the first time that I'm using it, and I think I can fit 4 trays on there, which is exactly how many I wanted to start. So without further ado, let's flip the camera around and show you what we're working with. All right, so we have the Gardener's Supply organic seed starting mix, and this is the GrowEase seed starting kit that I currently have 10 of. These are 2 new ones, very excited. When you slide off the paper, let me chuck that to the side, you come out with a bunch of pieces. Let me explain what these pieces are. These are self-watering trays, and they work. They're really, really good. So you've got your bottom layer. This is the, keeps you from dripping, keeps everything together. Then what you have is your riser. The riser sits right down in there. You have your wicking mat. The wicking mat you tuck in, so one end is going to be down in the water, and then your seed cells go there. These are really nice 2-inch by 2-inch by 2-inch cells, so you get a lot of room for your seedling. And then you've got your humidity dome, and that is 1 unit complete. All right, so the new one is put to the side. I went on the website and I ordered some new capillary mats. I believe you can reuse these, but because springtime is so busy, I usually don't get around to cleaning them off well enough to be able to save them. So here we have an older system. I have the reservoir tray. I looked on the paper, that's what it's called. The support platform, our capillary mat, our growing tray, and our clear cover. I did a pretty good job cleaning this off. I hosed them off after I hardened the seeds off last year. Sometimes I give them a really good scrub. They're not in really bad shape, so I'm not worried about harboring anything over. I think they're going to do just fine. So I'm going to set up 2 more of those, and then we'll get to planting. So I've got my little potting tray here. snip the side off. Or just rip it, because I did that incorrectly. So whatever works, right, guys? Get the soil into the tray. Let's see, this actually feels pretty damp, but I'm still gonna give it a little extra water because we want our seedlings to be happy, happy, happy. So I like to put enough water in that when you squeeze it in your hand, nothing squeezes out, but it kind of forms up a little ball. And I think I need the tiniest bit more water. During this process, you start to realize why we really need a tarp under the greenhouse when it's in the basement. That should do perfectly well. There we go. All right, pieces of the greenhouse are flying at me. There we go. So you can see when I make a ball with my hand, nothing squeezes out water-wise, but I have a nice little lump of dirt. So then, good thing Eric's not here, he'd yell at me for making a mess. So now I'm gonna take my seed starting tray, start filling up. It looks like the one bag is gonna perfectly fill 2 of the trays. And I have 2 bags. So I take 2 fingers, mush, 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 mush. This is just because there's inevitable air pockets to be found. And you don't want to be watching your seedlings grow and all of a sudden they sink on you. These look great. Set this to the side and I'll do my second tray. Sorry if this angle is a little bit awkward today. It's very difficult to film in the basement to begin with, but all by myself, it's really hard. My goodness, it was as if this bag of soil was made perfectly to fit in 2 of these GrowEase seed starting trays. Okay. Soil done for the time being. All right, well, you caught me. I went ahead and I filled up all 4 trays, and I gotta say, it took exactly 2 bags. I bet you there's 2 cups max of that soil left over. So now I have my nicely packed 24-count trays ready to be planted. Well, this should be a better angle. You'll notice I have a tray completed. I did that entire tray with the camera facing in the wrong direction. And that was the celestial blue pansies. The process is identical for the rest of the seeds. So I don't mind starting over and explaining that these are surface sow seeds. Very, very tiny. Quite a few of them in there, which is good because I'm being a little heavy with my sowing. I'm actually aiming to put 4 in each cell, kind of towards the corners. I know it sounds heavy. If it gets to be too much in each cell, which I doubt, I'll thin them a little bit. But these are going in our front containers. We want them to be full, especially at a time when we're waiting on our tulips and daffodils. My goal is to have these out right around Eric's birthday, which is March 20th. So around that time of year is when we can start putting our pansies and violas and the like out. These seeds say that they're 60 to 85 days. So my hope is that we're going to just love them so much that they grow quick enough for us to be ready to go in that time frame. This Berna Velvet Blue it's really pretty. On the website, it looked great. These seeds came from Baker Creek. I feel like Baker Creek, they are coming out with just interesting varieties of both vegetables and of flowers. And they always have the fun descriptions on the back that I like so much. All right, put the rest of them, these pansy seeds, back in. And what Monty Don says, we do. And Monty Don always puts vermiculite over his seeds. It's okay that these are surface sown seeds. The vermiculite's kind of clear so it doesn't get in the way. But it really helps with the dampening off where the seedlings just kind of wither and die before they get going. And I've noticed it kind of helps with algae too. Something gross about the surface getting all yucky like that. But before I continue, I reach over here to my handy cabinet of plant tags. These are a very inexpensive Amazon plant tag find. This is Berna Velvet Blue. I always stick them right there. Has anybody out there ever finished a couple trays of seeds and forgot which seed was in which and forgot to label them ahead of time? I've done that before. Trying not to repeat that this year. This isn't any special marker. It's just a regular old permanent marker. They don't get water directly on them, so they're fine. Same thing for this, the viola. So I'm going to go ahead and see how many seeds I have. I'd love to say I could do double the violas, but chances are, from the feel of this, I'm just going to have one tray of each. So one of the things that's currently on my wish list is a new spray bottle, because using this kind of spray bottle, I find that some of the vermiculite moves around too much, but I'm just giving it a heavy dampening, is what I'm going to call it. So I know that those seeds are nice and settled and have soil contact. This tray, I'm just going to dump back into the potting or the green tray, and that will be wonderful. So at this point, we've got our seeds in the mix, the vermiculite, we've got the label on. We give a wipe. I mean, who are we kidding? It's seed starting. It's going to be dirty business. And then normally you don't have to start with the trays full. But the reason that I like to start with my trays full of water is onefold. And that onefold reason is sometimes you forget to get back to it in time. and they can dry out a little bit. So this will ensure that they stay nice and moist. They won't really take up much of this water at all, but the water is going to be there. I'll probably check on this every other day until I see some green. And then once that happens, I'll be down here just about every single day just to make sure everything looks good. All right. So then we put seeds on there. And we put our humidity dome on top. The humidity dome is going to stay on top of these seeds until I start to see, I'd say, all but 1 or 2 of them will be sprouting. But normally everything will sprout just about the same time. Okay. Okay, so seed project is coming to a close now. I will say ahead of time, this tong is a very, very useful tool. It's exactly the right size to pull your little seedlings out when it's time. This seed starting tool tong has been a lifesaver. I have ripped quite a few seedlings in half, but I wanted to lean in here and show you this really cool 2-tier light system. It's called Aggie. I like the green color. It's incredibly lightweight, which is awesome. It's something that you could put on a countertop in a guest bedroom for starting seeds if you didn't have the luxury of a very glamorous tent in your own basement like we do. It has magnetic, let me see if I can pull it, magnetic lights. Uh-oh, I pulled it out of the holder. LED bars that are quite strong. So they're going to do the exact amount of light that we need for this 2 tiers of seedlings to get started. I absolutely love this. I know they make it in a 4-tier too, which is pretty cool if you had even more room. Now over here, this kind of squashed looking bugger, this is the 3rd seed tray, and I have it very close to the light because these are not LED lights. These are a regular T5 bulb, the really skinny ones. And even though there's 4 and it's powerful, you're still not going to get the same intensity as LED. So I will keep this light really close until I see germination. And as things move up, I will also move up with the light using our little pulley system, which you can't really do with one hand. Well, thank you so much for joining me on my solo venture today. We're sending all the good wishes to Eric to get better and looking forward to showing you the progress down here in the basement over time. These are the first seeds of many, which the rest of them came in the mail while we were also on vacation. So again, I'm Christopher, and this is Grow For Me Gardening. Thanks for growing with us.